And good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Tim Seaman.
And I'm Sophie Erber. Crews in Baltimore, Maryland are starting the long road to recovery after the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge on Tuesday.
3 cranes from the U.S. Navy have arrived to help remove that submerged portion of the bridge. A 4th crane is set to arrive next week. ABC's Christiane Cordero has the story in our top story tonight at 10.
Tonight, Baltimore is bringing in the biggest equipment available for an even bigger task. Maryland Governor Wes Moore says crews will soon have 7 floating cranes total, including 4 supplied by the Navy.
2 have already arrived, 1 arrives tonight, and the 4th is arriving on Monday.
Boats, tugs, and barges will also be on site to clear the debris piece by piece. Far from a simple task, officials say the section of the bridge resting on cargo ship Dolly's bow weighs roughly 9 million pounds.
So our team needs to cut that truss into sections in a safe, in a responsible, and in an efficient way before it can lift those pieces out of the water.
Getting the port back up and running, the governor says, is crucial for Maryland's economy and the nation's. President Biden today shared plans to visit the site. This week, Biden said he wants the federal government to cover the cost of rebuilding the bridge. He approved Maryland's $60 million request for initial recovery efforts. Easing the human cost is also complicated. Search teams have recovered bodies of 2 of the victims so far, while 4 remain missing and are presumed dead. The community is doing what it can to make sure their efforts are appreciated. A cafe near the port has served first responders all week. Its owner tells ABC News he's happy to.
We have the mechanics on staff ready to go. We have all of the kitchen. Everybody's here to, like I said, create the home for first responders, anyone that's needed at the bridge.
Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Baltimore.
A group of 11 attorneys general have filed a lawsuit accusing the Biden administration of illegally forgiving student loans in the form of the new SAVE program. That includes Iowa as well as Nebraska.
Millions of borrowers seeing their payments drop under that SAVE plan. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona says the program lowers monthly payments based on income, with some people paying as little as $0 a month. Plus, for some borrowers, it cancels their loans altogether in as little as 10 years of paying. Around 7.7 million people have enrolled in the SAVE program. Kansas Attorney General says the SAVE plan is, quote, a brazen attempt, quote, to defy the U.S. Supreme Court. It's after the justices struck down the president's first student loan forgiveness program. The lawsuit is likely to take several months, though, to work its way through the court system.
Meanwhile, the Biden administration says that it's inching closer to a second attempt to launch a widespread student loan forgiveness plan. Officials say that the program would help a large number of borrowers not already covered by smaller existing loan forgiveness programs. It is not fully clear, however, exactly who will be eligible for that plan. U.S. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona saying that he's confident that new rule will hold up in court.
2 Northwest Iowa communities received money to help support their efforts to preserve historic resources from the Iowa Economic Development Authority. The city of Sioux City received almost $16,000 in the form of a grant. It's to undertake Phase 1A of archaeological reconnaissance surveys at 2 locations, one at War Eagle Park and a campground site. The surveys would help determine if the locations could be on the National Register of Historic Places. The city of Manning, Iowa, got nearly $13,000 used to plan for the adaptive reuse of the former German Savings Bank and Telephone Company building. It's been vacant for years and has seen major deterioration.
After 33 years working on pivotal road and highway projects, Iowa DOT planner Dakin Schultz announcing that he is done working here in the local district. Today, his last day, telling KCAU9 that he is taking a position as the planning program manager for the Federal Highway Administration's Iowa Division. That job will begin next month. Schultz began his work locally on the roadways in 1986, doing summer work with the DOT. His first full-time job with the department would take him to Denison in 1991. And he would also spend time working in Ames before starting a quarter-century tenure right here in Sioux City. Schultz shares some of the most important projects that he's had a hand in.
The I-29 project, obviously, I started working on that back in 2003, and that was a career project in itself. But the other one would have been the Iowa 86 reconstruction up by the lakes up in Dickinson County. And part of it was an old county road that we inherited. It was in tough shape, and the locals had really wanted something done, so we worked hard, worked together, and so that one just took the extra mile to do that.
Schultz, who is a familiar face on news channels, also told us that one of the hardest parts about leaving his position is all the friends that he's created through his job right here in Northwest Iowa.
Vietnam veterans from all across Siouxland gathered in South Sioux City tonight honoring National Vietnam War Veterans Day. It's the 7th year for the dinner and the first to be held someplace other than Siouxland Freedom Park. The event was moved to the South Sioux American Legion Hall because Siouxland Freedom Park is full of military display items at the moment. The March 29th date is significant, though, because in 1973, the last U.S. combat troops departed Vietnam and direct U.S. military involvement was officially ended. For veterans, today is a great day for remembrance.
For them, it's an opportunity to share fellowship with other vets, share experiences, just to be together and feel welcome. And that's very important.
That event put on by Siouxland Freedom Park and American Legion Post 697, along with Olive Branch Masonic Lodge and the Sioux City Scottish Rite and Sioux City York Rite.
The Sioux City Musketeers back on the ice tonight before the first face-off. The organization paying tribute to a former and popular member of their crew. With his familiar theme song playing and a video display on the big board, fans tonight paying their respects to Dino Verdeen, the USHL's original sharp-dressed man, drove the Zamboni here in Sioux City for Musketeer games from 1991 through 2018. He passed away just last week, leaving behind his wife and 3 children who were on hand to drop the ceremonial first puck tonight.
At tonight's Musketeers game, also an Easter egg hunt. There it was, officially, lots of kids grabbing eggs with prizes inside during the intermissions of that hockey game. The hunt split into 2 groups, one ages 6 years and younger, the other ages 7 through 12. Each group had 1,500 eggs to gather in their hunt. Every child allowed to find 15 eggs. After they collected those 15, they were able to redeem the prizes at the Sioux City Musketeers team store, and we're told every egg did have something inside. The prizes, of course, varied. They couldn't all be grand prizes.